Good morning, students. Today, in English, we are going to learn about compound nouns, countable nouns, and uncountable nouns. So, what are compound nouns? Compound nouns, when two other nouns are combined to form a single noun, the result is a compound noun. Okay. So, for example, we have certain examples over here. So compound nouns can be written with spaces, without spaces, with hyphens, right? So here we've got two nouns, ice and cream. Now when we combine ice and cream together, it becomes ice cream. So ice cream is a compound noun because here we are combining two nouns, ice and cream. Correct? So second, swimming pool. Now here we've got two nouns, swimming and pool. So when we combine swimming and pool together, it becomes swimming pool. So swimming pool is a compound noun, and swimming pool is written with spaces without using hyphen. So it is a compound noun. Thirdly, it is living room. Now, living plus room is equal to living room. So, living room is a compound noun. Fourthly, bus stop. Now, here we are combining bus and stop. So, both these nouns are combined to form one word, a compound noun, which is a bus stop. We have full moon. Full plus moon. So, full moon is a compound noun and it becomes one word. Is that clear, class? Now, compound nouns without spaces. Nouns like classmate, greenhouse, grasshopper, lifespan, bedroom. These nouns are also compound noun because here we have joined class plus mate. So classmate is a compound noun. Now here these nouns are without spaces, like ice cream was a word with space, it was a compound noun. But classmate is a word without spaces. So two words have been combined to form a single word, classmate. Likewise for greenhouse, green plus house, greenhouse. Grass plus hopper, grasshopper. Life plus span, lifespan. Bed plus room, bedroom. Now there are certain nouns where we combine them together but they are joined with hyphen. So mother hyphen in hyphen law. So mother-in-law. So we have nouns over here which come together but they are separated by hyphen. For example, dry cleaning. So we have dry hyphen cleaning. So dry cleaning. Likewise, self confidence. Self hyphen confidence. So self is a noun, confidence is a noun. We have combined both of these to make it a word called self confidence, and it is separated by hyphen. Merry-go-round. Merry hyphen go hyphen round. Merry-go-round. Commander in chief. So commander hyphen in hyphen chief. Commander in chief. So in compound nouns, there are two or more nouns come together and they form a word. The words can be with hyphen, without hyphen, or with spaces. Right? So these are certain examples which you need to go through and understand them. And in case there is any problem that you're facing, we will discuss it when we meet. All right? Now moving on to countable and uncountable nouns. Now what are countable nouns? So countable, as the word suggests, it means something that can be counted. We can count into 1, 2, 3, we can give it numbers and it is easily counted, right? So we can say 1 dog, 2 dog, 3 dog, 4 dog, right? So when countable nouns are those nouns that can be counted, They have a singular and a plural form and can be used with a number. For example, book, pen, apple, house. So you can say one book, two books, two pens, two apples, right? Or three houses, four houses. So we can easily count them. So such nouns are referred to as countable nouns. So now there are certain rules that are observed while we change a singular noun to plural noun. For example, when we change girl to girls, or when we have to change singular noun as bench to benches. So there are certain rules that we need to keep in mind, and we're going to discuss that now. So, for example, there are certain words like girl, apple, bags, room. So, what do we do if we have to change girl into a plural form or apple into a plural form, bag into a plural form? We simply add an S to form the plural of these nouns. So, in case we want to change girl to plural form, we will add S and becomes girls. To make apple into plural form, we will say apples. Add an S. Same for bag. We added an S, it becomes bags. We added S after M, room becomes rooms. So we simply add S to form the plural of most of the nouns. Now, there are certain nouns which end in CH, SH, S, X, or Z. There are certain examples over here like bench ends with ch, dish with sh, bus, box, quiz. So we add es to such nouns. So we had added es to bench, it becomes benches. We've added es to dish, it becomes dishes. So now these have become plural forms. Bus becomes buses in plural form, box becomes boxes in plural form, quiz become quizzes in plural form. So we simply have to add es to such nouns so that we can change them to plural form. Now, thirdly, there are nouns that end in y with a consonant before, right? Like candy. So D is a consonant, right? So y is a consonant. So whenever we have a consonant before y, we change y to I and add es. Okay, so for example, candy. So we have D before Y. We drop the Y and change it to I and add ES. So candy becomes candies in plural form. Likewise, puppy. We drop the Y is removed over here, and we add I and ES. So puppy becomes puppies. So when nouns that end in Y with the consonant before the Y, we change the Y to I and add ES, right? I hope there is no confusion regarding this. Now, here, for nouns that end in Y with a vowel before the Y, just add S. This is the rule. So let's take an example so that we understand it, and it's easier with examples to understand. Correct? So, for example, here, day. We have y over here, and before y we have a vowel which is a. So a, e, I, o, u. If we have these before y, we simply add an s over here, right? So day becomes days, key becomes keys. All right. Now, fifth rule. Now, there are nouns that end in f or fe, right? Like half, wolf, wife, right? And there are many more. So, for such nouns that end in f or fe, we simply drop the f, we remove the f, and we add ves. So, half, we've dropped the f, and we add ves. It becomes halves. For wolf, we'll drop the f over here and simply add vs. So, it will become wolves. For wife, we drop f E and we add VES. So wife becomes wives. Okay. So nouns that end in F or FE, we drop the F or FE and add VS. We can also take knife. Knife ends with fe, right? So you drop the fe and we add ves, it becomes knives, right? Now, there are nouns with a consonant that end with a consonant before an o, right? Like hero, potato, and so on. So we simply add es to these. Hero, we added es, it becomes heroes. Potato becomes potatoes. Tomato becomes tomatoes, right? So we simply add es to these to make them into plural form. Correct? Now there are certain nouns that have a different plural form altogether. Like child becomes children, man becomes men, woman becomes women, mouse becomes mice, or goose becomes geese. So they have a different plural form, and there are no rules such rules to basically change them into plural form. Now there are nouns with the same form in plural. They're used in one form only, whether they are into singular form or whether they are into plural form. Okay, so we'll use series. For example, series will remain series in plural form. So the singular and plural form for series will be the same. For fish, the fish will be called a fish when it's in singular form. It will be called a plural form as well. Aircraft remains aircraft in singular and plural form. Okay, I hope these rules for plural nouns are clear to you. Now, coming over to uncountable nouns. Uncountable nouns, as the name suggests, is uncountable. We cannot count them, right? So they are in masses. So they are also known as mass nouns. They cannot be counted. For example, they refer to liquids, substances, abstract ideas, or gases. Now, in liquid form, supposedly we have milk, right? Milk, juice, oil. Can you count milk? One milk, two milk, three milk. We cannot count milk, right? It is in liquid form. Or juice. We can't say one juice, two juice, three juice. It's impossible to count juices, milk. It's just impossible to count juice, milk, air, okay? Oxygen. Can you say we what amount of air is there in the room? What is the count of air? We cannot say what is the count of the air. One air, two air. We just cannot say. We can measure it, but we cannot count it. Okay? Or paper, wood, time, happiness. We can't say I'm one happy, two happy, three happy. So they are uncountable. We just cannot count these nouns. So they are known as uncountable nouns. Okay? So, uncountable noun, they have only a singular form, right? Only one form is there. For example, milk. It will always remain milk. We can't say milks. For secondly, juices is incorrect. So it's milk, juice, air, oxygen, paper, wood. So only one form is used. There is no singular or plural form for them. It is only into singular form. There is no plural of milk, juice, oxygen, paper, wood, time. We don't say woods, papers, oxygen, airs. This is incorrect. So they only have a singular form. Only one form is there. Okay. Secondly, we can't use a, an, or a number before them. We cannot say a milk, an oil, two rice, three sugar. Can you count rice? Can you count the grains? One grain, two grain. Can you count sugar? One sugar, two sugar, three sugar. You cannot count them. So it's incorrect to say a milk, an oil, two rice, two sugar, three sugar. It's just incorrect. We always use a singular verb for them, right? So we always use a singular verb. Sugar is sweet. We don't say sugar are sweet. Sugar are sweet is incorrect. We will say sugar is sweet. Rice is cooked. Juice is kept on table, right? So we use singular verb over here is for these uncountable nouns. Now, for these uncountable nouns, how can, since we cannot count them, but we can definitely measure them, we can quantify them, right? So, uncountable nouns can be quantified using some expressions called partitives, right? Now, what are partitives? Partitives are phrases or words that indicate a part of a particular quantity or a particular whole. So when we refer to a part of a whole, it is known as partitives. So since we can't count, we don't count water, right? We can't say water 1, water 2, water 3, water. We use a partitive and we can quantify water. 2 liters of water or a glass of water, a bar of soap, a carton of milk, a piece of cheese, a jar of jam, a can of coke, a loaf of bread, an item of news, a bottle of whiskey. So these are our partitives and these are used to quantify these uncountable nouns. We can use numbers before partitives. So for milk, we can't say one milk, two milk, or one tea, two tea, one coffee, two coffee. So we use 2 cups of coffee, 5 kilograms of rice. We don't say one rice, two rice, right? We can't count rice, right? Can you count rice? No, we can't count rice. So we are going to say 5 kilograms of rice. Okay. I believe these partitives and uncountable nouns are clear how to quantify them. In case there is something that you're not able to understand, please jot it down, write it down in your notebooks with a question mark that you're not able to understand them, so that when we meet, we're going to discuss them. Okay, and it will be clear to you. Now, there are certain nouns which are always used in singular form. Okay, so even though they are more in number, we will use it in the same form. Like furniture, we don't say furnitures, we don't add an s over here, it remains furniture. Equipment remains equipment. Information, knowledge, we don't say I have knowledges, even though the amount of knowledge that we have or you have is much more, but we use knowledge. We don't add an s over here. Luggage, homework. So when I give you homework, I don't say students, I've given you homeworks, right? I just say I've given you homework. Likewise, money, we don't say monies, I have 5 monies, 6 monies. We don't say it like that. We simply say I have money, right? Or baggage, clothing, information, coal, clay, these are all nouns that we always use in singular form. Secondly, there are nouns that are always used in plural form, like jeans. You don't say I wear jean, okay? You say I'm wearing jeans. Or, for example, scissor. Scissors are always used as scissors, right? You don't say I have scissor, I want scissor. No, we say I have scissors, I want scissors. Or like trousers, you don't say I'm wearing trouser, you say I'm wearing trousers. I'm wearing pajamas, I'm wearing slippers. You don't say do you want slipper? No, that's incorrect. What do we say? I want slippers or I'm wearing slippers. So these nouns are always used in plural form. So note down these nouns. I hope class today everything is clear to you, and uncountable, countable nouns, compound nouns, all these are clear because we've done with the nouns for now. Okay, so next, whenever we meet, we'll start with a new chapter.